Hey, everybody. Sorry to be a little late. It's Teepa and Matthew. And today we're going to do a follow up because we got a couple of comments in that were truly, for me, really difficult. And so I had to take my time, do some breathing, and do some thinking. And what I came to think is that what happened was people made a lot of assumptions and didn't do a whole lot of curious thinking or being authentically interested in something. So I'm referring to the idea that at the Brain Cafe, we had people try out a product because we got a request for somebody from somebody to say this product is great. And I said, well, I don't know if the product's great or not. I haven't actually used it myself. So if we're going to find out if it works or not, I'm going to take it to the cafe and I'm going to ask people whether or not they're interested in trying it out. And if they are, what we do. So classically, I want to be real clear. Most of the folks who come to our cafe, both family members, care partners, professional and family, and people living with brain change, are more or less, most times, in a, let me pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about here. I'm in my care partner guide here, and I'm looking for my gems because it really does matter what the ability state of the individual is that I'm having look and do something. And that's how we run the cafe. We sort of look at who's there and what's happening. And I will tell you that the vast majority of people, and I mean people who are in our brain cafe, are sometimes a little sapphire, can be, diamond significantly, some emerald, and we have a few people who are amber, sometimes ruby in certain skills, but not in all skills. So the ability to be focused and do things, but they like very much when I say, hey, listen, I have a favor to ask of you. But first, I want to share something. And so, what I'm going to use now is part of what we go through when we have certifications for trainer and for consultant. And the first cycle I'm going to use is called an adult experiential learning cycle. And it has 5 steps. So what it sort of starts off as is I have an objective. So Matthew, I'm curious. One of the things we know is that when people develop any form of dementia, what we're talking about is brain change. And some of the brain changes will take place between the sensory motor strips of the brain, the control systems inside the primitive brain, and then the structures in the body. And so as the condition continues and it gets more profound, people will have difficult times with things like coordinating, drinking, and swallowing and talking. They will have difficulty using their fingers for manipulative tasks. They will have difficulty recognizing when they need to go to the bathroom in time enough to make it to the bathroom. But they might also have difficulty getting themselves managed after they have a bowel movement or they urinate. It can be a challenge. Now, let me just ask you though, have you ever been so sick, either with the flu, a cold, some kind of infection, or having taken antibiotics, that your ability to control where you put your waste products doesn't go well? Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have when I had the flu really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly have when I have had either an illness or I ate something, like food poisoning can do that. And it's real sudden. And all of a sudden, I'm dealing with body products in places. And I certainly have done it with my family members and people I work with. And I know it happens. So we got a request to check out cleaning up after an incontinence episode. So whether you're continent almost all the time and it was just sort of a surprise, or whether it's actually a change in ability, if something happens, it's called an accident.
Mm.
I mean, that's what I call it. It's like,
Yeah.
oops, didn't make it where I wanted to make it, how I wanted to make it. And now
Right.
I've got issues. Or I did make it, but oh, shoot, boy, that it was explosive. I've
Yeah.
got stuff everywhere. And I've got to get it cleaned up. What this group that asked us to look at these products, and they're a cleanup product, is to look at it and say, does it feel good? Does it work well? Can you use fewer?
Mm.
So, Matthew, what were the three things that we were asked to sort of look at in regard to this product?
Yeah, using fewer, does it feel good? And I mean, does it ultimately do the task, right? Does it?
Does it do the task?
Yeah.
And would you? And so we did a comparison. So we were thinking, okay, how about if we compared them?
Okay.
But rather than use actually a product that's yucky, which is body waste, I made pudding. So if anybody is interested in helping out on this project, we're going to come over here. And what I'm going to have you do, we're going to smear some pudding on you, sort of like if you, oops, had an accident. And I'm going to give you one wipe. And if you need a second one, I'm going to give you a second one of this brand that they asked to. And then I'm going to give you this other, and we'll try it on the other hand or the same hand, whichever way you want to do it, of a different kind of wipe, more of a, what would we call it? Economical version. Like you can buy it at whatever discount store you want to go to.
Like a great
So,
value or something.
yeah, one of those things.
Yeah.
So, anyway, would you be interested in doing that? Are you willing or interested? Because if you aren't, that's fine. They're going to do some things over here. If you are interested, come on over with me because I want you to get a chance to try it. And it's for care partners or people living with, either way, or just people who are interested.
Well, yeah, no, I wouldn't mind helping out with this, and really, it'd be good to know, like, is there some
Does it
good
matter?
wipes out there? Yeah, yeah. Is there something good out there?
Okay, cool. Well, come on over. All
Okay.
right. So I'm going to pause. So what we then have is an experience. And then I say, so what was your experience? And what were the three things we were checking out, Matthew?
Yeah. So, how well does it do the task? Does it
How
feel
well does it
good?
do it?
And
Mhm.
how many do you end up using?
Does it make sense because it actually is oversized? So it actually works
Yeah.
better. It gives you more coverage, but it also covers your hand a little bit. So you have
Yeah.
more coverage. And
And if it feels good, yeah,
does it
yeah.
still,
Does it
what
feel
does
good?
it do to
Yeah,
your skin?
yeah.
Is it comfortable on your skin? And do you actually, are you able to get in all the places? I mean, this is what people discovered as they did it was, oh, this really gets in. So people had the experience and we had them share.
Mm.
What did you find? What were the pluses? Were there any minuses? A few people needed a second one of the wipes, the upteel wipes. On the other one, people needed more wipes and it was just smearing it around frequently and they were frustrated. And so they needed they needed like several wipes to get that to work. And so for them, there was a clear difference. And I said, so were we doing this? Why did I ask you to do this?
Yeah. Well, we were doing this because we were trying to check out if which one might be better, more helpful
Right.
for us in these situations, right? That was the big why.
Yeah, because I'm not going to say yay to a product that I haven't used and haven't tested. I mean, if anybody's watched or done anything we do incontinence products, we do similar kinds of things. I pour a whole bunch of water in something to see whether or not, and I actually will do this. So,
You have,
Matthew, go ahead.
and we got a question, Teepa. Someone said,
Yeah,
"What about the smell too?" Which I was gonna add into how did it feel? Because how did it feel could not also be the sense of smell that you're getting from it,
yeah.
which
So it's
I think there was two
interesting.
different, right?
They sent two different variations. One is very neutral and doesn't have much of a smell. People said, I mean, it doesn't smell like anything. And because I used chocolate pudding, we didn't have the other smell that we would be dealing with. But there was a version, the cucumber
Cucumber, yeah.
version, actually has a very mild smell. And people said, oh, it smells fresh.
Mm.
I was like, okay, I'm not, I mean, if you're just cleaning up some stuff, I would think you'd still smell the fresh. I'm not sure. We didn't really investigate that because that was a sort of a step in a direction. They didn't ask us for that. I didn't go that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but so what we came out of, everyone actually preferred the Opteal. I mean, there wasn't a single person who said, it doesn't really matter. I would use either one. Everybody had a strong preference. And so when everybody had a strong preference, both care partners and people living with, I'm like, okay, so if you had to make a choice, so then we go to a consulting cycle. So we did the connection. Did you see the connection, Matthew?
Yes,
That I
yeah. I
did.
definitely saw the connection here.
Did I do a seek? Do you
Yeah.
remember any of the seeks I did with you?
Well, yeah, you were checking in on some of those pieces on like what were my takes from it, or what was the things
Well,
that
even
I got.
before that, even when we were setting it up, I know, like, have you ever needed sort of a cleanup?
Have you ever had a
Yeah.
situation where you've had a mess or something that
And
yes, yeah,
did I then do some reflection of what you told me?
you did. You reflected. Yeah.
And then we did explore. And our
Mhm.
explore was actually the learning experience.
Yeah. The
And so
AELC.
then select. So what did you come out of this with?
Yeah. All the Optio wipes seem to be feeling better and something that like works that I've just got a chance to try.
Okay, so here's a reality check, folks. Go ahead, Matthew, read what came in.
Okay. So we, so
One
with
comment. We got a
what
couple. Here's
we
the
got,
one that I,
yeah, we got just two comments. The one comment we got on what we put out was you shouldn't be using people against their will. This is not how we should be using our elders. How disrespectful of those who do not know better. So that was one of the comments out of the two.
so here's my challenge. Those are all assumptions about what we did and how we did it. Not curiosity, not authentic, no compassion, and actually not really a relationship, more of an accusation. And what it speaks to me is sort of an unfortunate, a lack of awareness, a lack of knowledge, and a lack of skill when it comes to appreciating there's no coercion and there's no using someone. I mean, no one didn't participate. No one participated who didn't want to participate. But basically, guess what? We had, I think, 40 people in the cafe. Guess what happened?
What happened?
All 40 wanted to participate. I mean, individually, and they were cut
Yeah.
the here, could you put the pudding on me? And I would say, oh, I'm going to smear mine here. Where did you put yours so I can see? And I said, I'm going to get some on my ring to see what happens. And so people, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So people were really actively seeking information. This is an active, healthy community.
Hmm.
When we talk about inclusion and people living with dementia are part of our community, this is not some line in the sand where you have dementia and I have to protect you and you don't, and so I don't. And that is so problematic for me because it goes talk about, like a stereotype. It's like time to stop. I mean, people can make judgments, people can do stuff. Quit thinking, if
You
you
know,
can, that everybody has got dementia. And when they have dementia, they're incompetent and incapable.
we got to
This,
wrap them in bubble wrap and we got to put them in a protective box. And Teepa, I want to slow down just that moment too, where you're talking about all inclusive and
yeah,
what that truly means, because there's a saying that we have, and I feel like this is a really powerful saying, which is no care about me without me. So
yeah.
what better way to truly find out if something is what a person would prefer than to try it with the person, to give them the opportunity to explore it. Because how often when people make these products, how often when they're producing these products, do they actually go to somebody who's living with a diagnosis of neurodegeneration and say, hey, give me your opinion on this. Hey,
No,
tell me what you think
it'll be
about
the
this. Or let me
caregivers,
include.
it'll be the family members, it'll be the staff. It's like, well, ask the people who are having it used on them, and we do it with them to figure out what works and what doesn't for them. People really liked the overside. People liked how much there was moisture in it, so it worked, and it was actually effective at cleaning. So, this is one of those places where I have to really take a deep breath frequently because we believe that by training people to train, training people to consult, and making a difference in the world individually. By the way, I fit in the category of those elders, just so we're clear. And I do not appreciate being told how I'm behaving. You find unacceptable. I'm sorry that happened for you. Maybe our stuff is not really for you at this point. Maybe you need to seek other ways of finding information because that's really disappointing. So sorry, but try to get curious before you get judgmental. And for all of you out here who aren't, I apologize. There was a little bit of a rant, but hopefully there was a little bit of info shared and how you do an adult experiential learning cycle and how you do some consulting. Because we've got to move out of this old model of them and us. We just don't believe in it. Nothing we do is without seeking and receiving permission. That, my friends, is the most important thing in the world. And if you can't get permission, you need to pause.
And Teepa, I'm curious when it comes to on the other side of things about this idea too of products and just trying to get a product out there and sell a product or whatever it is. When it comes to products, just just grabbing a number on average, how many people have come to you asking you to
Oh,
okay.
huge numbers. And then you have AI, Teepa, advertising all kinds of stuff out there that I don't even sometimes know till somebody points it out. I don't endorse or recommend anything unless we have checked it out with people who are going to be using it, and if I have used it. So when we did incontinence products, I actually urinated in the product and sat on the product. I went and tried to, I mean, I truly believe it's time to quit us and theming and start checking it out. And I'll give you what I find. If I find something is valuable, I'll share it. The reality is, this stuff matters. When you're in those moments and you're trying to figure out, okay, I don't want to wake her up 3 times at night. Then you need a really effective product that will consume a lot, and not leak. So, if somebody provides such a product, I'm going to mention, oh, by the way, whether I get reimbursed or not, that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it works and it makes a difference. So there you go. I think I'm almost done with my little rant. What I'd really say is if you would like a copy of our adult experiential learning cycle, or you'd like a copy of our consulting cycle, or you want to look at our GEMS card, or you're thinking, maybe what I want to do is understand the changing brain a bit more, because frankly, maybe I don't know as much as I thought I did about progression and how people change and the ability to still make choices that have value and have life that has meaning and purpose. Yeah, maybe we need to do something a little different. Till next time, thank all of you out there for doing what you do. Please take care of yourselves and take care with your care. Bye all.
Thank you, Teepa. Bye, everybody.